guests from her work over the past 7 seasons on Saturday Night Live, in addition to films like Father of the Bride, Freakier Friday, and Summer of '69. SNL returns this week live on NBC and Peacock with host Miles Teller and musical guest Brandi Carlile. Please welcome back to the show our friend Chloe Fineman, everyone.
I'm tired, but I'm good.
Yes. I mean, that's life at SNL, right? Tired and good?
Tired and good.
That's about all you can hope for. You had a real full circle Domingo moment, which is Sabrina Carpenter when she hosted the last episode. You got to Domingo with Sabrina.
It's like a Domingo verse.
Yeah, now we're fully in the Domingo verse.
Yeah, I thought, Kelsey's been pregnant and unpregnant.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Like, unwinding the Domingo verse requires a lot.
Poor guy. It's like, give it up. She's awful.
You had a sketch I want to ask about, because I enjoyed this a great deal. Snack Boys.
Yes, Snack Homies.
Right. Snack Homies, based on the Maryland Foodie Boys.
Yes.
I will admit, watching it, thinking it was very funny, did not know it was based on real dudes.
Yes.
And now, have they seen it, and were they psyched?
They were psyched. I like it because it could either be like 4 teen boys or 4 really cool lesbians. Had I like not made my voice,
Yeah.
Like doing that kind of thing.
Did you enjoy it when you did? Were you very excited to find that kind of voice? Because that seems like a fun one to do.
I was a camp counselor in Berkeley, California for like many years of my life. Definitely got fired and rehired. That's a different story.
When they rehire you, is it based on they were like, we were rash to fire?
The campers, I had these and they all kind of talk like this, and they're from like Berkeley, California is hella tight, like what it do.
And they loved me and I loved them, and I got them to like listen to me by kind of like imitating them, honestly. So it might be my day one impression.
Yeah, so.
And some people said like you sounded a little like Kyle Mooney.
Yeah, but guys, I'm from California too.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle Mooney sounds like where he's from, and you're from there too.
And I'm from Hyphy, Yay area.
You auditioned with a Reese Witherspoon impression years back.
I did.
And so this is a looking glass moment.
I just met her for the first time in the flesh just now.
Just now?
Yeah, and I can't help but go in, and I'm like, oh my God, you were so cute.
No, oh my God, no. I mean, I was like, everyone loves you, seriously.
Was there anything else from your audition that made it on the show?
Very, very, very few things. I guess impressions, but characters have been harder.
Yeah.
I did audition with, I'm gonna just say it and you can bleep it out, a character named Queef.
Okay. You know what? I think we're gonna leave it in. We have a photo. We have a photo of, well,
Yeah.
you know who
That's
now.
her.
That's her.
Yeah.
And did you actually, did you dress up for the, okay.
I flew to New York City.
Okay.
Ooh! And I had 2 rolls of hot pink duct tape and like kids stickers.
Okay.
That I like put in my carry-on because like I couldn't do checked. I had to have them. Got down the hall, dressing room, and just was kind of topless and covering myself in duct tape. Someone knocked on the door and it was Bill Hader, and I was like, oh my God! And he was like, hi, I'm Bill. And gave a really cool pep talk.
Was it right before your audition? He came in and gave you a pep talk?
My very first ever audition, I was like mid-tape, and he was like, wow, it's so cool, you got all this way.
He's like, I hope you didn't check those stickers.
Yeah. And then now that I'm thinking about it, I had another character, so I had clothing on, and then in my audition, like kind of stripped into that to deadly silence.
Right.
But
They
it
say,
worked.
they say that's why they like play music so loud at strip clubs. Is like if it's really quiet, it's sad.
It's really sad. Yeah. I was just like, surprise.
So I want to ask.
Yeah, give it up for Queef
now. Now, you've had to admit to some odd behavior recently, but I guess like not really admit because somebody kind of called you
Of
out.
my own?
Well, yeah, you tried to bring something to a movie theater that I've literally never heard another person try to do.
Picklegate, yeah.
Yeah.
I found a bunch of people sent me this tweet that said like,
I have it.
I knew you would.
Somebody posted, just told a lady that unfortunately she can't bring her pickles into the movie theater, and it was Chloe Fineman. All right.
Yeah.
So, from the beginning.
Okay. I was in LA.
Okay.
Should explain everything. Everywhere in LA, there's like a farmer's market
Yeah, of
in front
course.
of everything. And there were pickles, and I love pickles.
Okay.
And this guy was giving me these pickles, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just get all these pickles right now.
Okay.
I'm not really doing myself any
No,
service.
because it's like you're making it very vague as to whether
Okay,
you bought them or a guy just
I
handed them
bought
to you.
a large amount of pickles. The guy
And you
convinced
knew
me-
when you bought them you were going to the movies.
Yes, I was like, I'm late to the movie, in fact.
Gotcha.
So I was a little frazzled by the time I got to the AMC.
Gotcha.
Shout shout out to, I'm just gonna hit my boobs. So yeah, I was kind of dripping in juice. I had this bag.
Yeah.
I love pickles. LA, it's health, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
health.
So they're super psyched because the thing they most want to see is a frazzled person.
With a leaking plastic bag of pickles.
And they're immediately thinking like, oh, this is gonna be a
And
ass
she was
ache.
like, "Ma'am, you cannot bring those. You can't bring food into the theater." And I was
Were
like,
they
"It's-
like clearly pickles or were they like hidden in
It
a
was
bag?
hidden in a bag, and I was like, "It's not food, it's pickles." And she was like,
Okay.
"That's food," and I was like, "No, but it's in a bag. Like it could be Old Navy, and like you don't know. It's just pick." And I was like, "I'm not gonna like eat it in the movie theater. I have my pickle." I was like, "It's shopping. It's not food. It's something."
Now,
I
while you're
shopped."
talking, has it dawned on you that they know who you are and they're gonna
No.
call you out? Okay.
No, and I have to blame Domingo
Okay.
for this. To full circle it.
Yeah.
I've now started getting recognized at movie theaters as Domingo's girlfriend.
Okay, gotcha.
So I can't be my weird ass self anymore, and it sucks.
Now, be honest though. If she hadn't stopped you, would you have eaten a pickle in the movie theater?
I ate them in the theater. She doesn't know. I ate the pickles. I got a hot dog and I put a pickle on it.
You know what? Everybody in that movie theater knew that somebody was eating a pickle.
To the point where I was like, "Do you guys want pickles?" Like I thought I would share them. And
I
they
want
leaked all over my car, and that was the end of that.
That's
story.
called karma.
Oh, Patumpcha.
You have a dog.
That's Peach.
Peach is great. I also heard that Peach is, and I'm not doing a bit here, banned from NBC.
That is true.
Okay. So did Peach try to bring pickles into the building?
Like his mother, he's a little bad. No, I got him as a puppy, and I would bring him to the pre-tapes. He's in a famous sketch with Kristen Wiig,
Okay.
where he's wearing a robe. As a small dog, I thought it was cool that I could like Timothy Chalamet like held my dog.
Yeah.
You know, like that's cool.
That's cool, yeah.
And so when he was a little bit bigger, I brought him back, and I guess he was roaming around, and maybe as his publicist, I have a bit where I'm like, I've become his publicist because I have to defend his bad
Yeah, yeah.
behavior so much.
Your crisis PR.
Yeah, crisis PR. I'm gonna flash forward. Basically, like I brought him to work, and then a couple days later, I got a call from HR. And I do work sometimes with my significant other, he who shall not be named.
Yeah.
So I thought it was because I'm always like screaming at my boyfriend at work.
Yep.
And then they were like, "Your dog is banned from NBC because he was in someone's trash and she reached down and he like broke a little, didn't break skin, sorry, nipped a little bit."
Was he hiding in their trash?
No,
or?
they were just like, everyone was excited to see him all grown up, and they didn't know he grew up into a horrible dog.
Right, right.
And this was at a point where I was trying to get him trained in New York. He was banned from every daycare in the West Village.
Gotcha.
True story.
And so you're like, yeah, I got to get this dog to work.
Yeah, I was, honestly, I was like, well, mommy can't do daycare, so mommy has to bring baby to
Oh,
the
so it's
job.
like the great Diane Keaton baby boom, but
Yes,
like with
yes.
you with a dog.
True story, yeah.
So, but then HR was like this. But was it an anonymous tip that like, or did you know? Do you know who the dog bit?
Yeah, he nipped somebody very important,
Gotcha.
which was a mistake on his point. But I will say, if a dog is in garbage, maybe don't pet the dog. And that's all I'm gonna say. Right, well, like, he gave a warning. Some people thought it was a
you're
bite.
saying it like it's like that famous saying, like when a dog's in the garbage, don't pet the dog. Pickles aren't food. Pickles are movies.
Pickles are shopping.
Pickles are shopping.
They're shopping.
Pickles are Old Navy. You know how it goes.
It's the same if it's in a bag, no questions asked, said the drug dealer.
The one thing I think you would not make a great of is a lawyer.
Why?
Just like your arguments kind
No,
of fall.
I'm so okay. Let's say my dog did something bad, and I'll defend him right now on the spot.
Okay, gotcha. Hey, I was reaching for my pickles, and your dog was in my pickles, and it bit me.
He didn't bite. He communicated, which is true.
All right, I take it back. You're very good. Hey, everybody, that's Chloe Fineman. SNL returns this week live on NBC and Peacock with host Miles Teller and musical guest Brandy Carlisle. We'll be right back with Chef Henry LeBeau.